Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. Today I'm going to be coming at you with another top 12 recommendation video. It is no secret at this point that these are my favorite videos to film, and I think this is y'all's favorite video to watch. Let me know if there's another kind of rec video or another type of video that I make that you guys like better, but I think that you guys like these. I mean, I always see like the majority of y'all watching these videos over other things, so I'm very happy to, of course, bring you another. And the theme of this top 12 video is kidnapping. So if you've never seen one of my top 12 book recommendations videos before, I basically choose a certain trope, setting, or subgenre in the thriller and horror book genres, and I zoom in on it and tell you guys my top dozen favorite books that include that trope or that subgenre. So today, all of these books are going to be horror and thriller books that center around kidnapping or include a pivotal scene with kidnapping. Obviously, kidnapping is like one of the most terrifying things that could ever happen to you. It's one of my biggest fears, so it makes for a really fast-paced, heart-pumping, thrilling plot and a really effective horror. And a lot of these are some of my all-time favorite books. If you're looking for a book that features kidnapping in any type of way, form, or fashion, this is the video for you, because these are going to be the 12 best, in my opinion. But before we get into the book recommendations, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Temu. I have an entire Temu haul to show you, as always. So we will be getting into this massive bag. But a little bit about Temu, if you've never heard about them, they are a shopping website, and they literally have everything under the sun with probably the most affordable prices that I've ever seen. So I will show you the wide range of stuff that I got, but I also want to show you how easy it is to shop on Temu's app. So this is the app in the App Store for Apple. They also have it for Android, but I'm going to go ahead and get it and then click on my link that takes you right here to this wheel that you can spin and get all of these coupons. Oh my God, I got $200 in coupons. Are you kidding me? So all of these will be saved to your account in the app. Now I'm going to go through and shop. They have all of my picks for the actual stuff that I got featured in the app. So I'm just going to add that to the cart. And before I go, look at the suggested stuff. Oh my God, could not believe they had Bum Bum Cream, these cutie little glasses, bike shorts. So I'm adding that to the cart. And then you'll see the coupon change. So it automatically applies the coupon that gives you the biggest discount. It's absolutely insane that you can get over $100 worth of stuff for 30 bucks. So of course you can use my coupon bundle with the link down below, or the code that I put on the screen. That will also be down below, so you can get a little taste of what you might find on Temu. Let's get into the haul. They have a ton of cool crafting stuff right now. So I got some crafting ribbon, but not really to craft with. I actually want to use this in outfits as like belts or wearing it in my hair. So here is the first little ribbon that I picked up on Temu. Similar, I got this kind of ribbon, which is almost like sheer and tulle-ish. It's so shiny, so pretty. I'm picturing like a New Year's look that's like very coquette coated with this in my hair. Yeah. And then I also wanted to try out some jewel art. I watch a couple booktubers that do like this little jewel art while they listen to audiobooks. So I got a Starry Night one, and then another like iconic painting. I think this is a Monet, but you can basically stick little gems to all of these spots. And so it's kind of like a paint by number, but with little gems. So I got 2 of the canvases, a little organizer with little tools. Then I also got a roller to make sure that they're all like flat on there and stuck on. And then I got a sealant to make sure that it actually stays. So stay tuned for that to see it in future vlogs. I also needed a couple chargers. We've had some charger nappers at my house. People have been taking my chargers with them when they leave my house. So I got one of these like USB C or something like that chargers with a cord for my Apple Watch. And then I also just got like a regular iPhone cord, and this box can actually hold 3 different ones, so I can be charging my phone, my speaker, and my watch all at the same time, which is a struggle because usually I'm like, I have to pick 2. No longer. Then jumping over to like personal care, this is so random, but like they have these little portable perfume things. So I don't like to take a full bottle of perfume when I travel. It has a little pump thing at the bottom. I'm just gonna pump my regular perfume into it, and I'll have a travel size of it. Again, I think this was like $1, so affordable. I also picked up these slippers. Look at how cute. I love these smiley face slippers. The ones that I had before were like the classic black and yellow, but they were getting kind of crusty because I've had them for a couple of years and I've worn them to the movies a million times, and you really shouldn't wear slippers out of the house, but I don't care. I wanted to replace them, and when I found these neutral ones, I was obsessed. Like, these are gonna go with every outfit. They're so cutesy. My new movie shoes. And lastly, I got a ton of clothes. So I'm gonna try all of those on for you, show you what I got. So this is the first little duo. This top is actually a part of a matching set that came in 3 colors. So this is just the top, but it also has bottoms. I'm just gonna show you them in a different color. I wanted to put this on with this black skirt. It has the V waist. I literally love it so much. It is so cute, so flouncy. I mean, you can wear this going out, you can wear this exercising. And this is that same matching set. So this is the pink top, but just in another color. It also came in black, but this is just like a little loungy pajama set. So easy. I also got these brown flowy pants, which I'll lower the camera so you can see like the whole vision. You see what I mean? Like the flowiness of it all. It's so cute. I'm obsessed with these. Also the pockets. We love pockets. I hate when it's a fake out pocket. I need a real pocket, and thank God we have them. And then lastly, we have this adorable little baby doll dress. Oh my God, this also has pockets, and these pockets are deep. Like, I would not need to carry a bag. I can carry all my snacks in here. Oh my God, I feel so free. I could do anything in this dress. I bet I could fit a book in here. You know what? I'm gonna try. What if I just, oh my God, wait. Hold on, it fits. That is how big these pockets are. I could take my book. Oh, hey, what am I reading? Ha! Here's my book. So that is everything that I picked up from Temu this time around. I know that not everyone likes to shop at these online discount stores, but it is a great accessible option, and you can save even more when you use my coupon bundle. So I will link that referral link down below and leave the coupon code down there as well so you guys can shop, and all the stuff that I hauled in this video will be at that link for purchase as well. Thank you so much to Temu again for sponsoring this video, and now let's go ahead and get into the book recs. I want to start out with the book that kind of started it all and gave me the idea to film this recommendation video, and that is The Quiet Tenant by Clement McCallan. This is actually my October book club pick, and I absolutely love it. I'm not quite done with it, actually. I have 50 pages left, but I am so hooked that I was like, I have to share this. I have to recommend this before I'm even done, which, you know, that comes with a little bit of a disclaimer. I don't know about the last 50 pages, but I cannot see this being rated below a 4-star, like in any world. It is so good. We are following this dad through the lens of 3 perspectives of the different women and girls in his life. So it's kind of similar to Notes on an Execution in that way, but it's much more domestic, much more fast-paced and exciting than that book. So this guy is just like your typical dad, family man, upstanding citizen, etc., but he's also a serial killer, and he's been keeping a woman hostage in his shed. We figure out what happens when he has to move house. Something happens that I'm not going to tell you about that cause him and his daughter to have to move, and he has to take the hostage with him. So this kidnapped girl gets strung along. It's insane. Like, just imagine the dilemma. So we're following the perspective of the kidnapped woman, and we do flash back in time and we experience the actual scene of her kidnapping, which is chilling. We're also following a love interest of this man, his daughter, and various perspectives of the women that he's murdered in the past. We're trying to get our kidnapped girlie out of there, make sure that she doesn't end up like the rest of the murdered women, and it is just enrapturing. It will suck you in and not let you go. It also has that like small town domestic drama feel as well. Super short chapters, super fast paced. If you're looking for a kidnapping centered thriller, this is the one. I also want to mention kind of like a classic kidnapping thriller. If there could be a classic, I feel like this is one of the OGs, and that is Room. I feel like a lot of people have read this one. It's really popular, so you might think it's overhyped, but I don't think so at all. In Room, we are following a mother and son who were kidnapped. Well, actually the mother was kidnapped and then she had the son in the room where she's been kept for years and years and years. And we are following what it's like for them to live basically in this man's bunker and hopefully see their escape. We see the scene of the kidnapping, we experience what it's like to be held hostage, and we see the aftermath of everything that happens as well. It is such an emotional story, and it's really more about the bond between a mother and her child than it is the actual plot, which I really appreciated because I love a character focus in my books. But I don't think the plot was lacking in this one as well. It is super, super thrilling, heartbreaking, heart pumping, just everything, and the movie adaptation is really great as well. Next up, I gotta talk about one of my favorites of all time because kidnapping is like the main inciting event in that book, and that is Survivor by J.F. Gonzalez. Do be warned, this is extreme horror, so there is extremely triggering and violent, depraved content in these pages. However, it is one of my favorite books of all time. We know that, in my opinion, extreme horror can go awry very, very quickly, and it's not often done well. I think this is one of the cases where it's done extremely well. It has the pacing of a thriller, but the extremity of content of a really intense horror book. We are following a couple on this like anniversary getaway, and the woman is kidnapped part of the way through, and the kidnappers tell her she's going to be the star of their snuff film. If you don't know what that is, don't look it up, but you kind of know what it is when something is snuffed out, you know what I mean? So just imagine. But as the title implies, this girl is a survivor and she is not gonna go down that easy. So we follow her as she tries to get her way out of this impossible situation. And I know this book has been unavailable out of print for a really, really long time, so I also wanted to feature it in this video because it should be available, if not now, then in the next couple weeks. They had a reprint of this book from J.F. Gonzalez's estate. I think it's managed by Brian Keene, so thank you to him and to everyone involved to reprint this book. I've had so many questions asking where you can get it. You should be able to get the new edition now. Next up, I have to tell you about one of the most underrated novellas I've ever read. I never hear about this ever, and that is Living Dead Girl by Elizabeth Scott. In this story, it's very, very similar to Room, but it's not an adult. This is a child. This is a teenage girl who has been kidnapped and held hostage with her kidnapper for years and years and years. And it's a very emotionally fraught, complicated relationship because this is the person who has been sustaining her life and taking care of her for years, but it's also the man who's been brutally abusing her and keeping her away from her family. So while he's her lifeline, he's also the thing tormenting her. And again, we're following her as she tries to escape. Super, super short chapters, super fast pace and heart pumping. It's just so visceral to imagine what it would be like to be in this scenario. Again, I feel like it's everyone's worst nightmare, and reading about it from a little girl's perspective is just heartbreaking. This book is heavy, but it also feels like a race against the clock for her to get out of there. It's kind of like a less extreme, more emotionally dense version of Survivor if you are following through the eyes of a little girl. So I would say if you like this one and you can handle extreme, go here. And if you like this one and you're looking for something similar, go here. Next up, I have a read for you that is holiday coded. I know the holidays are coming up, and I'm personally looking out for all of these like Christmas, snowy themed books that I can pick up in the next few months. If you are looking for a Christmassy thriller with kidnapping, almost said kidnapping rep, what's going on? With a kidnapping plot, I would recommend Dying for Christmas. A lot of people did not love this book, and I will say at the 50% mark, it takes like a very odd, sharp turn, and the rest of the book from there is not nearly as good as the first half, but I still gave it 4 stars because of how much I loved the first 50%. It's kind of like The Chain in that way. The Chain by Adrienne McKenty. So if you can forgive something like that, then you will totally be fine with Dying for Christmas. We are following a woman who is kidnapped during her Christmas shopping. She's like out buying Christmas presents for her family and friends, and this man literally nabs her and squirrels her away inside his apartment. He is an absolute psycho because every day that she's held hostage, it's like the 12 days of Christmas, and he gives her a new gift every day to represent what day of Christmas it is. It is so weird to think of like the meaning behind it. It's so disturbing. And we follow her as she's basically like kept like a dog in a kennel and given these weird, disturbing gifts. And we are just rooting for her to get out the entire time. Now, it does take a weird turn, and I don't want to speak on that. Okay, I just like kind of like to pretend that that second half doesn't exist. I still think it's worth a read if you want like a Christmassy holiday atmosphere, but you also want to read a thriller. Sometimes I feel like the only holiday books really out there are romances, and I don't really want that often. So if you're looking for something holiday coded that is a little bit more thrilling and intense, Dying for Christmas. Next up, I have another extreme horror recommendation. This one is less like graphic violence extreme and more like gross out body horror extreme, and that is It's Me, Charlie by C.M. Guidroz. I don't really know her. And this is actually about a bookstagrammer, and a man is obsessed with her on the internet. He has actually been catfishing her. He has this cutie little bookstagram account that looks like it's just another average girly out there. Little does she know she's interacting with the man who is obsessed with her and wants to kidnap her. And that's exactly what he does. So we follow her through this harrowing experience, and we are rooting for her to get out. I'm just now realizing a lot of these plots are like exactly the same, but it's so interesting because they all do it in such different ways. This one is so gross. We are seeing the ways that he's like torturing and tormenting her, and his mind has like just gone around the bend. And it's super, super short. Like I literally read this in an hour or less. So if you like extreme body horror or gross content in your thriller and horror books, and you want to follow a kidnapping plot line, boom. Back into a more thriller space, I want to recommend another super underrated, in my opinion, thriller, and that is Creep by Jennifer Hillier. I love Jennifer Hillier. I've talked about her so much on my channel. I love all of her books, but this is her debut, and it has really unique pieces. On its face, it doesn't have a lot of kidnapping, but there are a lot of scenes where people, usually women, are snatched and held hostage. So I thought because of those elements, it kind of like fits if you're looking for something that has kidnapping in it, or you tend to enjoy like really fast-paced kidnapping thrillers, then you would like this one. Because we are following this campus. Basically, there's a campus killer on the loose, and our main character is a professor at this campus, and she starts to suspect that her TA graduate student that she's actually having an affair with might be the campus killer. but she also wants to break up with him, which is a big issue. Like, can you imagine dumping the campus killer who you're also having an affair with? I'm scared. So we follow the events that transpire after that. There's a lot of being held hostage. There's a lot of like private investigating. And of course, it has Jennifer Hillier's signature, imperfect, flawed, but very genuine feeling female characters. And while we're on the topic of Jennifer Hillier, I might as well recommend the other one I have from her on this list, and that is Little Secrets. In this book, we're following a mom, and she is just rushing around the farmer's market, trying to get all the things she needs for the week. She's a good mom, but she's just, you know, busy. She's got stuff to do, and she's not paying attention for literally 1 second. She stops holding hands with her little tiny toddler son, and he gets snatched in that one singular second. It is heartbreaking. The opening scene where we see the kidnapping happen is just visceral, just so scary. And now it's a year later after his kidnapping. The case has gone cold, and she figures out that her husband is having an affair. Now, she already lost her son, and she is not about to lose him too, so she becomes incensed, just obsessed with stopping this affair. But also, along the way, she's uncovering clues about where her son might be, if he's alive. Whether he's alive or dead, she just wants to find out who took him, and we are along this fast-paced ride for every single part of it. This is actually the first Jennifer Hillier book that I read, and it's what got me into her writing style. I love the romance subplot, the way that she develops characters without losing that driving force of the plot. It still feels really thrilling, and I believe I read this in only 2 sittings, so it's really fast-paced and it just sucks you in. Next up, let's talk about Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris, and this isn't your typical kidnapping thriller, but again, it has that like held hostage element where a woman was basically dating this guy and she didn't know his true nature until they got married, and he ended up being this abusive creep, and now it's escalated to a point where he just locks her in a room and she can have no contact with anyone. She can't like eat what she wants. He's literally locked her away like a hostage in her own home. So everyone on the outside, her family, her friends, just sees this like perfect relationship. She's got this beautiful house and this wonderful husband with a high-powered job. But in reality, behind closed doors, she is locked away, basically like a kidnapping victim. So we are following her as she tries to get herself out, alert someone, let someone know, but every time she makes a little tiny move, he catches her and he punishes her. And this is one of my favorite thrillers of all time because of the good for her style ending. And I know you're gonna think that's a spoiler, but it's not. I promise you, you will not predict where this is gonna go. And this villain, it just, oh, he makes my stomach churn. This is the worst, most insidious, sociopathic villain I've ever read in a thriller. It is absolutely visceral. Will have you on the edge of your seat the entire time. And so many of these scenes just live in my mind rent-free. It is so disturbing. Next up, this is the last little extreme horror rec that I have in this video. So if you don't like extreme horror, don't worry, this is the last one. And it's not even like a one and done. It's kind of like a little subset of extreme horror. So John Athan is one of my favorite extreme horror authors. I think he does extreme horror really well. It's really effective without feeling gross. It always feels like it's based on, you know, real life and for a specific purpose, like spreading awareness rather than just like trauma porn or something like that. And he has quite a few books with kidnapping in them that I did enjoy because, again, like I said, he bases a lot of his stories on real life cases to spread awareness. I'm sure you've heard me talk about The Groomer by John Athan, where little kids are being kidnapped and put into a ring, and oh, it's bad. It's really, really scary. but we're following the dad of one of the kidnapped children as he tries to hunt him down and get revenge. Very, very similar is Into the Wolves Den by John Athan, where a bunch of girls are kidnapped. One of their dads, or I think two of them are sisters, and their dad is the sheriff of the town, and he's trying to hunt them down and get revenge. And then also there is Lovesick, which is a little bit different. This guy is just incensed and he believes that his girlfriend is cheating on him, but instead of breaking up with her like a normal person, he decides to kidnap her, hold her hostage, and torture her in an abandoned apartment building. Yeah. So if you want extreme kidnapping stories, John Athan, he has just like a plethora of them. And returning to thrillers, I want to recommend The Butterfly Garden by Dot Hutchinson. I believe this is a series, but I've only read the first one. I would like to continue though. And in this book, we are following kind of like the aftermath of this girl's kidnapping. So she has escaped and she's telling the police her story, and we are basically reading the transcript of that, of everything that went down. So it's not necessarily like twists and turns because we know from the outset how things end up, but it's more just like the emotional and disturbing tale of everything that went down while this girl was held in what's called the Butterfly Garden. So this man who takes and kills women, he keeps them in this like bunker that is this beautiful garden, and he basically indoctrinates all his little girls into this cult, and he calls them all his butterflies. And when it's time for him to kill them, he tattoos butterfly wings on their back, encases their bodies in resin, and displays them in the bunker to like serve as a warning for all the other girls. Yeah, if that's disturbing, just imagine reading what is in these pages. It is so intense and so unique. Like, I've never read something like that went this direction with the depravity. It's definitely not the most depraved book that I've read because, again, there's a lot of extreme horror on this list, but it is unique in the ways that it chooses to go about what happens to the kidnapping victims in this book. And obviously we know that our main character survives, but it was amazing to me how often I was like, oh my God, she's gonna die. She's done for. It really does keep you on the edge of your seat and have you doubting the reality that it starts you out with. So effective, so disturbing, freaky. Don't read it with the lights off. And the last recommendation on my list is The Good Girl by Mary Kubica. And Mary Kubica is very hit or miss for me, but this one I really loved. It's again another unique perspective on that kidnapping trope, because our girly in this book who gets kidnapped, she has Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah, she starts to fall for her kidnapper. So we're following her, who does not want to leave, does not want to be found. And then we're also following an investigator and her family as they are working to try to find her. And the whole time is kind of building up to this moment when they're hopefully going to find her, and they might realize that she doesn't want to leave. Disturbing, fucked up character dynamics in here. It is, again, so unique, so just like heartbreaking to see the different ways that trauma can affect someone, how she like convinces herself that she actually wants to be with this horrible, abusive man. And there are really good twists in here. I really enjoyed this one. I haven't reread it, and it's been quite a while since I read it the first time, so even just talking about it kind of makes me want to do a reread because I don't remember the twists, but I remember them being good. Another one that's super fast-paced. I feel like all of these kidnapping books are really fast-paced because, hello, it's a kidnapping. It's literally horrifying, and you are on the edge of your seat the entire time trying to figure out what happened and get them back where they're supposed to be, back to safety. But this one definitely throws a wrench in that. So that is it for all of my thriller and horror recommendations with kidnapping. I hope you guys got a couple good recs from this video. If you did, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to go down below and check out Temu. Use my code for that coupon bundle and save even more money on top of their affordable prices. And of course, don't forget to go to therapy and read a book this week. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!